Hello everyone and welcome to my anime journal. And today I will be starting with Padak, also known as Padak. Who would have guessed? And so Padak is the onomatopoeia for a fish flopping or something like that. I don't freaking know. But the important thing is this is sort of like Finding Nemo, but it's edgy. So if you kind of take like the idea of just taking a genre that's made for kids or a story that's made for kids, and it's like, hey, what if this was like edgy? If we just had like things dying and there being gore everywhere, because say like the magical girl genre, people die all the time anyway, but they don't ever show the blood unless it's made for adults. So from anything to Sailor Moon to like, you know, Precure and what was it? There's all those kind of things, especially Jewel Pet, Lady Jewel Pet. I watched, and it's like there's just so many people dying, but you don't see their blood, and that's an important distinction. That if you see someone's blood, it means that it's not for kids anymore, even if you were allowed to show them dying. But Finding Nemo, I mean, there's death in it. Death happens in Finding Nemo because they're all fish. Of course, they're dying, and they allude to the main characters dying, but they don't actually show them dying. It's like, hey, I could eat you, and I probably will, and I've eaten your friends. And it's like, well, I know you've eaten my friends, but I'm just gonna go leave now. And they never, the main characters don't die. But in this one, it's not just a fish store that the main character ends up in. It's actually a fish tank for a seafood restaurant, and the kind that are served alive. So, living fish restaurant. Actually, that's probably gruesome. Just don't even see that. I mean, I know it's food. Some people like it, but it's horrifying, man. I mean, it's like you get this fish on the table, and it's still alive. Like it's watching you eat its flesh. And it has to. It has no option. Its flesh is like cut off of it, and it's just the organs that are left on the actual skeleton, and it's just sitting there watching you eat its flesh, knowing that it is going to be thrown in the trash. That its flesh is considered to be more valuable than its own life. And I mean, I wouldn't ever eat something like that. And most people, I bet the majority of people wouldn't want to eat that. I mean, I can't account for everyone. Different people have different ideas on what things should be eaten. But most people agree that if you're eating animals, you should at least kill them before you eat them. Like even lobster, it dies while it's being cooked, but it's still dead before it reaches your plate. So, so that's the story. And now the actual anime itself is worse than that because the animation actually looks terrible. It's really bad CGI. Might be able to find you a picture. Padak. It's just terrible looking. And so yeah, just I wouldn't really recommend it, honestly. I mean, if you liked Finding Nemo and you're thinking, and this is really good, but what if it was edgier? maybe, yeah, this is your anime. Go ahead and watch it. But other than that, I would say no. It has terrible CGI. It's kind of a weird story, and it feels like a ripoff, honestly. After that, I watched Osu, which has surprisingly nothing at all to do with Osu the game. Which we could probably, yeah. I mean, Osu is a game where you click circles, but this has nothing to do with that at all. It's an anime set, or an anime aired all the way back in 1962, way long before before Osu was a game. But the word Osu actually means male, and so it's about a cat, a male cat. I mean, I watched it in Portuguese sub, so I didn't really understand much of what was going on. I just know I didn't like what I saw. And unless you can speak Portuguese, you probably also wouldn't understand it. Or Japanese. But I mean, Portuguese sub is out there, so that's another option. And after that, I watched Boku no Hero Academia, the movie Futari no Hero, which I technically watched out of order. I watched the first season and then I watched this just because it was airing. This is, it's based. Parent Story is the third season. So it's based on the third season, and I haven't seen the third season or the second season yet. But it was in theaters. My cousin also wanted to watch it. He brought his friends along. We went together into the theater with beer, and we watched it together. But it was also kind of a late viewing. It started at 10 p.m., which was my bedtime my bedtime was 9 p.m. at the time. So even when it started, I was already planning. I was already past the time that I normally went to bed or normally went to sleep, and then it kept rolling for it's an hour and a half movie, but there was a 30-minute recap at the beginning. That was not fault of Bones. I'm not gonna fault them on that. I'm not gonna say this is a terrible movie because it had a recap, because that recap was not Japanese created. It was done by Funimation, and so I mean, that dramatically decreased the enjoyment of the experience. But at the same time, it's not the creator's fault. It's not the people who made it who added that in. It was the licensors. And so, yeah, the movie itself, it was a decent plot. We still got to see all the great characters and stuff. It wasn't amazing, but it was still good. It was enjoyable. And yeah. Anyway, and I actually did fall asleep by the end of it, basically. But, it wasn't the movie's fault. It was mostly my bedtime's fault, and the fact that there was a 30-minute recap. So, Funimation and myself were to blame, not Bones. And after that, I finished Aikatsu Stars. And I say finished because I really did start it long before I finished it. Over a year. But anyway, Aikatsu Stars, very cute anime. I mean, you can see this. They're also adorable, right? And also they're younger than the first ones. Look, she's only 12, and they dress her up like you wouldn't want to dress up a 12-year-old. Like the actual outfits, where it's like, you want a 12-year-old wearing this? Like, especially the uniforms, where like you have the uniforms where there's these super short skirts and then these high heels, which are not something you really want in a middle school uniform. But that's just how Aikatsu's universe works. But anyway, they are cute, and we still have our nice. Well, I mean, it's a nice story. It's mostly just about them, growing up. Well, yeah, growing up and becoming more popular, basically. But one thing that really annoyed me wasn't allowed to talk about in the Stars of Anime New Year Challenge, was the fact that their upgrade system, like the way that their outfits worked, was way blander than the original Aikatsu. Because in the Aikatsu, we had this whole system where, like, we had the designers, and the designers helped out the idols, and it was like this kind of fixed economy where only the designers would only sell outfits to the idols, and then the idols wouldn't accept outfits from anyone other than the designers making outfits exactly for idols. So I guess it's kind of like those sort of catwalk runway kind of things where it's like, would anyone who's not a model wear this? And the answer is generally no. And so it's that kind of thing where it's like this economy that you have on this, and the customer is both each other and the audience, but it's not other people who like fashion. It's not like you go there thinking, wow, I'm gonna see all these things that I might want to buy. It's like, I'm not actually allowed to buy that. They don't sell those to regular non-idol humans. But in this, they don't do that. It's sort of like a video game where you just get these points and you can spend it on outfits, and you just have to hope that the audience likes what you've picked out. So it's sort of like an avatar that you just choose out what outfit you think works. In a way, it means that the actual girls themselves have more say in what they wear because they're the ones choosing it out. But it also means that all those characters who were designers, you just don't get to see those designers anymore. They don't exist. The girls themselves are designing their own clothing. We're just expected to know that, oh, they have this extra talent as well. They're not just good at singing and dancing. They're also great at designing clothing. But the clothing, it's not like they're actually going on there in 3D paint or something and designing it by hand. It's more like they just put in the points and it kind of gives them something, which means there must be some kind of a designer behind there, but they're not characters. We don't get to see them. They're completely behind the scenes, and I don't know. I mean, in a way, sometimes not everything has to be said, but at the same time, I just like to see that happen. Also Yuzu's. All the original S4 girls were very cute. Yuzu, Tsubasa, what was it, the princess one? They're all very cute. Also like the main characters, obviously. They're all good as well. I mean, most of the girls are good. Now, unlike the original Aikatsu, this one actually has an antagonist, which is interesting. Lisa Forte, and so she goes against the idols. Kind of pretends to be just like a rival or a friend, but she's really going against them. She wants to destroy them, and it doesn't really need to have an antagonist. It's Aikatsu, but for some reason they gave it one, and she wasn't a good character at all, and her whole arc was just bad. The only thing that I did like about her existence was the fact that it brought around Kilala, who was also on her team. And Kilala is just look at how cute she is. She's like so fluffy and nice and bubbly. Look, I mean, her color design is beautiful. Her hair is great. Also has nice eyelashes. Yume also has very nice eyelashes. Look at her eyelashes. It's like kind of dot-like, but it's very cute. And she has pink on her hair, but most of it's blonde. Anyway, enough of meaningless stuff about character design. But anyway, it's everything is very well designed in it. And and also there's some boys. There's like the boys' idol school, but we get to see them like a couple times, and then they still exist, but we just don't see them again. Akko was actually in love with one of them, which was like a very cute story. It would have been nice to see their romance, but it just didn't really go anywhere. It was more like it was part of her character, part of her character development to give her a crush rather than being actual romance. It's just like, oh, what kind of character should she be? Let's make her the lovey-dovey type who falls in love with one of the guy idols. No, you don't have to develop the guy idol. You don't have to give them a romantic story together. You just have to say that she likes him. It's boring, and I don't know why they did that. But anyway, it's a cute anime. If you liked Aikatsu, you might like it as well. Or if you liked like Pre-Para or any kind of other idol anime like that, it's cute. It's very, very wholesome. But it's still not as good as Aikatsu. If you haven't seen Aikatsu, watch Aikatsu. If you've seen Aikatsu and you want more Aikatsu, then you can watch Stars. It's at least better than Friends. And after that, I watched Ramen Daisuki Koizumi-san. And this was alright. It's an anime about a girl who likes ramen. That is the literal entire plot. I am not joking at all. It doesn't go any further than that. She just goes to different ramen shops and eats ramen. And doesn't really have much character development or anything aside from that. It's just, I like ramen. And then she goes to like 3 different ramen shops every single day and just tries their ramen. Sometimes she has like contests or stuff, or she always tries a different ramen every time she goes out. And sometimes she brings other friends with her to eat ramen, or she just eats alone. She does that a lot. But even though she does have friends, I guess they're not as into ramen as she is. But yeah, she just goes many places and eats ramen. If you like no, I'm totally joking. I mean, if you like ramen enough to watch an entire anime about it, or if you just like otaku, like people with crazy obsessions, then maybe you should watch this. She is a ramen otaku. She just can't get enough ramen. And so yeah, if you like those kind of characters, maybe you should watch it. If you like anime about food, maybe you should watch it. There's not too many anime about eating food. More about making food, because making food is more interesting than just eating it. But yeah, it's alright. Oh, and sort of online alternative Gale Online. This is a fun one. So this is an anime about Kalan, or also known as Len, and in her actual state, she is huge. She's 183 centimeters tall, which is gigantic for a Japanese girl. Like she's just so tall. Because the average male in Japan is something like it might have been like 175 or something. And she's a lot taller than the average male in Japan, and she's female. Uh, and whereas most females are like 160 or 165 or something. So she's way taller than that, and but then her avatar is tiny, as we see here, and she wears a pink outfit, pink camo. Well, it's like she literally fights in a pink desert, so pink is actually camouflage for her. When I heard pink desert first, it's like, wait, you mean like a gun, like a pink, like a pink desert eagle, or why are there so many lewd ones? Come on. But anyway, so yeah, she's adorable, especially in this form. She's just so cute, and it's also kind of cute knowing that she's not actually like that in real life. That she's still a woman, but she's a lot taller, and even her full self is pretty attractive. She's tall, but I mean she's an attractive girl. But she has a kite complex, which is cute. And story wise, it's nice. It's a nice anime. You get to see some cool things, and it's like she fights alongside a guy, and it's actually a guy and girls, but the guy isn't actually all that important to the plot, which is kind of refreshing, especially for Sword Art Online, where usually you'd have the guy and then the girls that surround him, and then they're all in love with him, and they don't really have personalities. So it's a nice breath of fresh air in terms of Sword Art Online. It's made by different people, so yeah, if you like lollies, then watch this. If you like lollies fighting, then especially watch this. If you don't, then I don't know, maybe not. It's not an amazing anime, but it's very cute, and it's about lollies fighting in a first-person shooter game, so that's all cool. After that, I watched Takunomi, and this is an anime about drinking alcohol, which is always fun. And so we have all these girls. This is the main girl. She has actually extremely short hair, but she's not a tomboy or anything. She still acts fairly feminine, and yeah, she likes drinking. They all like drinking, and it's mostly about beer and cider and wine rather than other things, because we already have bartender and osake that are both about mixed drinks, and this is not about mixed drinks. It is about buying alcohol and finding like meal pairings, or finding interesting alcohols that you can sometimes find and stuff like that. There's a bit of mixed drinks involved, like they did one with like wine and ginger ale, but or like Kahlua and milk, but it's not the point. It's not like you're watching it to find out cool recipes or to see how bartenders deal with people or something. It's all about just girls drinking casually together and just chatting. I mean, cute girls doing cute things is such a common idea, right? So why not add alcohol to it? I mean, usually you talk over a beer, so why not add the beer to the cute girls? And so yeah, it's a cute anime. It's cool. I liked it. Again, it's not amazing, but it's cool. And after that, I watched Comic Girls, which is also very cute. And our protagonist. So this is based on a 4-koma manga, and our protagonist is a 4-koma mangaka. And look at how cute she is. Oh my god, yes. And she has like mismatched hair things, and then she has this little yaiba and has pink braids. It's all very adorable. And she's also, I mean, she's good at manga. She's not amazing. She's not as good as the other mangaka in her own dorm. But as she says, even though she's the worst at manga, she relies on it the most because she's the worst at everything else as well. Which reminds me very strongly of the lyric from Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit. I am worst at what I do best, and for this gift I feel blessed. She is that. She is that line. But anyway, she's very cute. I hope she finds a good boyfriend someday, or a girlfriend. And I mean, this manga or anime is definitely not without its lesbian subtext, mainly between Tsubasa and Koyumi. And so Tsubasa is our shonen mangaka. She draws stuff made for boys, and she's also a tomboy herself, and so she kind of like acts like a boy to truly get into character and draw it correctly. And then we have Koyumi, who is the shoujo mangaka, and so she draws manga about girls falling in love. And wanna guess what happens? They fall in love. It's beautiful. It's like it's meant to be. The shonen and the shoujo fall in love. And then there's also Ruki, and she's she draws lewd manga, arrow manga, as they're sometimes called. Like not actual porn, but ecchi. And she's known for it. She's known for drawing actually really good ecchi manga. But even though she doesn't feel like a pervert, and so her audience isn't someone she relates to or someone she really wants to be around. And so she also feels very uncomfortable when she goes to like conventions or meetups, or any time that she actually gets to see her fans in person. It's not the best experience for her because she doesn't actually like those kinds of people. And so yeah, so she's a cool character. They're all good characters. That's a lot of the reason why you'd want to watch this anime, because it just has such great characters, and they're all very cute as well. If you like cute anime, then this is definitely something you should watch. And yeah, I mean that's a theme that goes on along all of these, that I tend to gravitate towards cute anime. Anyway, the next anime I watched was Akun to Kanojo, and this is an anime about a guy who loves a girl, Akun and his girlfriend, and it's just a gag humor anime, really. I mean, it's kind of a rom-com. It's kind of about romance, but it's mostly just a gag humor, and it's decent gag humor. It's also very short, but it's not amazing. And after that, I'm just gonna cut this off here because I've been talking for a long time. But the last anime on here is Pokemon Introductory Recap. Yay! It's a terrible little short about Pokemon. Not the best way to end an episode, but anyway, thank you for watching. I hope to see you again next time, and goodbye.